Hola, padres. Buenas noches. Gracias por venir. Me llamo Profesora Luis. I'm going to give you a quick little presentation, kind of let you know about what the class is like. Hopefully you're tuning in for Español 300, Spanish 300. So give me just a quick moment. I'm going to share my screen and we'll get going. All right, we'll start off with a funny little, well, I think it's a funny little comic strip. Okay, so my name is Rebecca Lewis. As my students call me Profa Luis. If you need to get a hold of me, my email is right there. And then you can also message me through Schoology, and the students know that they can do the same thing. I want to start first just kind of letting you know a little bit about me and who is this person teaching Spanish to your son or daughter. I grew up on Whidbey Island. I wouldn't consider myself a Washington native. I wasn't born here, but I've spent most of my life in Washington. When I am not here at Inglemoor, I have two kids. I have a 5th grader in the district and an 8th grader. My 8th grader is Ethan. My 5th grader is Addison. And then my husband's Dan. We live in Bothell. We have a dog, an amazing dog. He's the most amazing thing ever. That's Jackson. My experience as far as being a Spanish speaker, I studied in Mexico. I attended Western Washington University. That's where I got my Bachelor of Arts in Spanish. Then I also have my master's, and I've been a national board certified teacher for 8 years. And I'm actually working on my renewal, or it's called something different, but I'm working on that this year. So you probably have already signed that permission slip, either giving me access or not access to film your son or daughter. I have to do various filming throughout the school year. When I'm not teaching, I love to eat chocolate. I love to work in the garden, listen to music, watch Netflix, cook. And when I have time, also usually on my commute to work and home and shuttling my children around, I am also learning French. Why am I a high school teacher, and why specifically Spanish? I really do think high school students are the best. I think they're fun. I love coming to school. I'm so excited to be beyond excited to be back in person. I just feel like I've got my groove back being in the classroom. And it was rough last year teaching remote. So it's wonderful to be back. I hope through what I do to inspire lifelong language learners, even if it's not Spanish, to give my students the tools to be able to communicate on that global scale and interact with people from all different cultures and places around the world. Learning a language is a very cerebral thing. It takes a lot of our brain, and I love it when I get to see my students when it clicks. I love when they are developing themselves into being risk takers in a positive way, and pushing themselves out of their comfort zone to work with the language. I think in a language class, it's really easy to build community and build relationships because we're always talking. We're talking about ourselves. We're learning about ourselves and then others in the world. And it's just so much fun to be able to do that. I feel like a language class is extra special in high school because we can do a lot more maybe silly things that don't always fly maybe in other content areas. You may have heard them come back and say like, she's not speaking any English. And although I don't speak very much English, I do use it from time to time. Spanish 300, usually around the 2nd semester, is when we move into a no English environment. I feel very passionately about that. I've seen it work. I know it works. I know the students can rise to the occasion. Even though we were remote last year, I know that I can equip them. And when they learn to take chances and put themselves out there and really kind of work through those awkward moments of the language, they'll get there by the 2nd semester. But the more Spanish they can be immersed in, the better. So there is a little English, but it is definitely mostly Spanish, and they're doing all right. No one has run out of the classroom screaming and crying yet. I want to share with you a little bit about my approach to language learning. First of all, I believe we all can learn a language no matter what age. It might be a little more challenging, but we all have that ability. We have to learn the cultures that speak the language. So it's not just grammar and vocab, but it's culture, and not just big culture like celebrations and things like that, but little cultures, the small nuances to the language and the different cultures that speak the language. There's a lot of countries that speak Spanish, and they all have different things that they do and make that country special and different from other countries. So we explore that. Language has to be used in context. We don't just memorize everything and it's not English to Spanish translation. We have to know the words and we have to know how to use them, which means we have to play with the language and get messy and make mistakes and learn from those and be okay with that. We need a lot of input, a lot of hearing the language, seeing the language, working with the language, and then slowly we can work on more developed output. I need it to be a communicative class. If they haven't told you already, pretty much every single day, we do at least one activity that's verbal, and we work in groups almost all the time, or pairs. It really is a collaborative, communicative environment because I want them to have as many opportunities they can to play with Spanish, to work with their Spanish, to make it their own. And I mentioned before, taking risks. I think my most successful language students over the 22 years that I've been teaching are the students that are afraid of making mistakes, are afraid that their Spanish won't be perfect, but that doesn't hold them back and they still go for it. And that, I think, is one of the biggest features of a successful language student. A little bit about what 300 is about, Español 300. Oops. It is an IB course, although many students won't test this year. The curriculum for IB is about a 2-year curriculum, so we started in 300 to prep those students that take 400 that do want to test. So the IB topics that we cover, you can see right there. There are 5 topics, and we cover them. Sometimes we overlap the topics in each unit, and sometimes we'll focus specifically on the topics. As far as culture, each unit that we have will have a country of focus. That doesn't mean we don't explore other aspects in other countries, but most of what we'll do and explore pertains to that particular country. So you can see those are the countries that we'll be exploring this year. As far as grammar, there's just a natural review at the beginning of the year in 300 that we do. So if they feel pretty rocky from their experience last year, and usually students feel rocky at the beginning of the year anyway, so that's not an uncommon thing. Our first unit is going to cover some review concepts, but not everything they learned. Some of those concepts will be sprinkled throughout the year and just reminding them of how they use it, giving them opportunities to practice, and always taking it a little bit further so they can practice more deeply with their Spanish. But we also have some new things that we learn in 300, specifically the second semester is when we really hit those. And that's when we start getting into a little bit more abstract ideas with the language, working with more tenses and more tiny little things that get our language sounding much more authentic. As far as grades, you will see in Parent View, not yet, we haven't done anything for points yet, but eventually we will. And the grades are divided into 4 categories, pretty much skills-based, writing and speaking production, or written and spoken production. Another category for reading, listening, comprehension, as well as cultural understanding. Just 10% for the classwork and homework. The practice work, definitely important, but at the end of the day, their grade is really made up with what they can do with their Spanish. Just a few more things about grades. I will do my best to have grades updated every 2 weeks in Student View, Parent View. I do allow retakes and redos. Oftentimes those are solicited by me, so definitely case by case basis. And when I approach a student about that, it's not because we're just trying to get a few more points. It really is, oh my goodness, you kind of didn't quite get this concept, or you missed the point of something, and I know we can do this better. Maybe let's work on some skills a little bit and let's come back and tackle this assignment. We will be operating, the whole district actually will be using the 50% floor. So that means that even if something has never been turned in, it automatically will be a 50%. It will be indicated in Student View, Parent View as missing, and that 50% will then change once the assignment is turned in. I do ask that students turn in work by the end of the unit. Our units kind of take a bit of time. So we've got a lot of content that we cover, and it's going to be super important that they work on those assignments within the unit so that when we move on to the next unit and we're learning new vocab and new grammar and new cultural concepts, they aren't having to play the game of catch up. Language is very much a building thing. We are always adding to what we know, but if we aren't getting those concepts down in one unit, they often flow into the next unit, and a student can really struggle as the year progresses if they're not staying up on their work. I'm always available to meet with students before school. After schools are trickier. After school's trickier for me, except for Wednesdays. I've got to hustle out of here most days of the week to get my daughter to gymnastics, but Wednesdays I'm pretty wide open. And always during lunch, they would just need to make an appointment with me. And we can always be flexible as well. If it doesn't work in person, we can schedule Zoom times if they should need to meet with me. Out of class expectations, we don't always have homework. When we do have homework, it's usually anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes. Most of the time, we'll be working from a homework packet that they'll have throughout the unit. They'll turn in at the end of the unit. If we don't have homework, usually the expectation is we'll spend 15 to 20 minutes studying vocab, maybe from their vocab list. They can make flashcards. Some students are a really big fan of Quizlet. There's lots of resources that I put on Schoology weekly for them to know where to go to practice if they're looking for just a little bit of extra work. And there's also a lot of links on my website, which you can find from the Inglemore's website and Go to Teacher websites. And any opportunity they can connect with the language outside of class is great. Any opportunity for them to just kind of play around with it, practice, will just help give them the confidence to be more brave and take more chances with their language learning. That is all that I have. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope that they're having fun. I am so excited to be back in the classroom. I hope they're feeling the same thing as well. If you ever have any questions, comments, concerns, please email me. And someday, maybe I'll see you in person as well. Thanks so much and have a good night. Adios.